Alex, one of the things that we've been speaking about a lot is, the art of conversation and, really getting curious about, customers. And, if you take it away from the world of business just for a minute, when I watch people on the media, famous people, famous interviewers, often they use closed questions, questions that only get a yes or no answer. And it really frustrates because you kind of go, come on, you should know better, to open those questions up. So, what is it that's so difficult getting people to open up those questions and start that conversation, Alex?
So Gareth, the whole area around asking open questions is a very complex area. That sounds a little bit contradictory to what we've been saying before, but the reasons why, okay, there's lots of reasons. The reasons why people ask closed questions so often is because there is a preconception that they have about what the answer should be, and therefore embedded within the question is that preconception. And two, also a desire to demonstrate their level of knowledge on any given topic. And potentially there's an area of trying to manipulate the conversation as well, which would probably be a little deeper, but nonetheless may also happen. So I think there are a number of things that stop people from doing it, even though they would actually intellectually say, yes, I need to ask open questions.
So that's interesting. So there's lots of issues there. So I think just for clarity, people talk about questions and open questions, closed questions. So what are open questions and what's the benefit of doing it?
Well, open questions begin with what, where, when, how, who, where, if I've said it already, and which, because they solicit open answers, right? Somebody's got to answer in an open way to any of those, and there's a hierarchy of which ones are more powerful, which we can go into on another conversation. But the point being is the benefit that they bring is that you figure out what's inside the other person's mind rather than confirming what's in yours already.
So it's using open questions. It's using those starters that you just mentioned to really find out what's going on in their world and ultimately get into their world so that you're more likely to, again, have a proposition that's fit for purpose.
Absolutely, but here's the key. It's easier to ask open questions. And what I mean by this is that if you're asking a closed question, you already need to have thought of the answer. So it's paradoxical because people would disagree because they may say, well, you're only getting a yes or no answer, so therefore it must be easier. No, it's not. You've got to think through the answer before you ask the question. So here's my top tip on open questions. Think what you want to ask before you engage somebody. And if you're in a business meeting, write them down. Write them down. That way you'll remember to ask them, but also you will navigate the conversation in the direction you want it to go. Let's be honest, the better the question, the better the answer. So write them down.